Cruise port days can be fun and exciting, but they're also where cruise passengers make the biggest mistakes. From fake taxis to booking scams to friendly locals who aren't so friendly, these are the 15 dangers you need to know before stepping off the ship. Hi there, I'm Ilana from the website lifewellcruise.com. Welcome back to my channel. Now, if you're going on a cruise, there's a good chance that you're pretty excited to explore those cruise ports of call. But before you step off the gangway, there are some things that you need to know. In this video, I'm going to be going over 15 mistakes that cruisers are still making in cruise ports. These tips will help you to stay safe, avoid scams, and enjoy your day ashore with confidence. Now, before I get started, I did want to mention that if you like this video, if you find it helpful, informative, or enjoyable in any way, then please do give this video a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's get started. Number one. Now, this one might seem obvious, but if people hadn't made this mistake, I wouldn't be mentioning it. Not knowing where your cruise ship is docked. Now, it can be surprising, but depending on the cruise port of call, there can be more than one cruise terminal and they can be far away. Now, as an example, if you're on a Caribbean cruise, there are two cruise ports in St. Thomas, Havensight and Crown Bay, and they're both about 45 minutes apart. And don't rely on your taxi driver to know which cruise port you are heading to. Now, if you go to Alaska and you're in Ketchikan, there are two docks there as well. And in fact, it got some cruisers in trouble just about a year ago where they missed their ship. That's because most cruise ships are going to dock in the downtown area. However, Norwegian Cruise Line docks about 20 minutes away in Ward Cove. And unfortunately, these people made a mistake when they were heading back after their excursion and did not make it back to their ship on time. Number two, the helpful strangers that are actually trying to rip you off. Now, first, let's talk about the pickpockets that you might not know are pickpockets. And that's because you might have a helpful local person who lets you know that maybe your bag is dirty or that you dropped something. Now, this is actually a distraction because typically what happens is they will have an accomplice and that person is trying to pickpocket you. So be on guard for anybody who's standing a little bit too close, maybe has a scarf over their arm or even a clipboard. These are all common pickpocketing scams. Now, there are also some ripoffs that are much less sinister, but you still want to know about. A local shop, restaurant, or popular tourist attraction may try to rip you off just because you're a tourist in for the day. A local taxi driver telling you that they know a better beach resort spot is likely getting a kickback. A restaurant may have a tourist menu, and believe me, it is overpriced. And when we were in Costa Rica and we walked through the local park, there were some people that told us they could help us to find sloths. And then after they did and they pointed them out, they wanted a $5 tip. Falling for currency conversion tricks. Now, this one trips up travelers all the time. Vendors or ATMs may offer to convert to your home currency. It sounds helpful, but the currency exchange is awful. Instead, choose local currency and have your bank handle the conversion instead. Not bringing the right essentials when you get off the cruise ship. Now, maybe you're going on an excursion or maybe you just plan to do a quick walk around the cruise port, but not bringing the right items can actually put you and your health at risk. Now, what I mean is make sure that you have sunscreen, make sure you have water with you, and make sure you have things like an emergency credit card and some cash. And something to never leave the ship without is your phone. If you're in an emergency situation, you absolutely want to have this. Free phone charging stations. Now, the FBI has warned about digital skimming and fake charging stations in airports and malls. But ports and shops with free phone charging stations might be doing the same thing, logging your data through USB skimming. It's best to stick to your own portable charger when in port. Getting too comfortable with free public Wi-Fi. I think a lot of us do this, but we really shouldn't, especially in cruise ports of call. Coffee shops and free Wi-Fi in port just aren't secure and can be set up to steal your info. Oversharing your personal data while traveling. Now, I was inadvertently a victim of this scam a couple of years ago while I was in Rome. Now, you see, I was actually searching online for an excursion or a tour, and there were so many to choose from, but basically I thought that they were all the same. So I was enticed by the cheapest price. I know, silly me. Now, after I entered in all of our information, booked and paid with my credit card, I waited for those excursion tickets to arrive. They never did. I then looked up the location of the tour company and the address that they gave was fake. Now, at that point, I realized I was scammed, and honestly, having to call my credit card company while I was overseas was no fun. Now, this is where Incogni, the sponsor of our video, comes in. I was so focused on in-person scams and pickpockets that I didn't even think about the digital one. Unfortunately, it's not just pickpockets to worry about anymore. It's scammers, and they don't have to steal your info, they buy it. If you've ever booked a cruise, a flight, or even searched for travel deals, your personal data is already out there. And it's not just sitting around, it's being bought, sold, and passed along to hundreds of data brokers that you probably have never heard of. Your name, email, phone number, and even your travel patterns all being used without your permission. And with online scams getting more sophisticated every year, it's never been more important to protect your privacy. Now, Incogni works by contacting those data broker sites and requesting that your personal information is removed. Now, I started to use Incogni last month, and already over 100 data broker sites have started to remove my data. Now, it's super easy to sign up. First, you create an account. It actually took me less than 5 minutes. Then you grant Incogni the right to act on your behalf to request removal of your personal data from these sites. Now, the best part is that this is all done automatically. And by the way, signing up for an annual plan is best because this can be done proactively every single month as new data broker sites emerge. Now, I do have a 60% off discount code for Incogni's annual plan. I will leave the discount code and the exclusive link down below in the description of this video, as well as a pinned comment. All right, moving on to some more physical watchouts in cruise ports of call. Booking an excursion that is overly strenuous. Now, I don't think anybody does this on purpose, but I think a lot of cruise passengers think that, you know what, first of all, you only live once. And second of all, well, if the cruise line offers it, then it must be safe. But it's not necessarily safe for everyone. Now, a perfect example of this is Dunn's River Falls in Jamaica. Now, this is a lot of fun, but think about climbing up waterfalls. This is not for everyone. Now, if you have bad knees or any mobility issues, or if you're just not 100% steady on your feet, this is definitely just one type of excursion to avoid. Now, beyond this, there are hiking excursions that are going to go through trails. And while these might not be overly strenuous, think about walking over branches and the chance of falling, or even sometimes just falling right outside of the cruise ship because there are cobblestones or uneven walkways. Now, cruise excursions usually have a rating like strenuous, but you want to take a look at the description as well. Look for words like high activity. And let's face it, you don't want to get injured when you're on an excursion and you're off the ship. You want to enjoy the rest of your cruise safely. Going to areas known for high tourist crime. Now, there are quite a few cruise ports of call where the travel warnings might be elevated. However, on the most part, they are going to be safe, but some things that you want to watch out for is not to go off the beaten path. Now, several destinations might have high crime areas that are located not too far from the cruise port. Now, some examples include Nassau, San Juan, Puerto Rico, Belize, and Roatan. Now, it doesn't mean that overall these ports are dangerous, but you do want to do research before you get off the ship. And you might want to consider booking an excursion either with the cruise ship or a reputable tour provider. Sharing cruise travel plans online. Now, over the last few months, cruise lines have been warning guests after a slew of online scams that have tricked passengers into paying more through fake docking fees and other falsehoods. In worst case scenarios, some people have actually had their bookings canceled after they gave out their personal booking information to scammers. Fake taxis. Now, fake taxi scams have been reported in popular cruise ports around the world. In these cases, individuals pose as taxi drivers, often standing near the port exits or popular tourist areas without proper licensing or affiliation. These unofficial drivers may offer seemingly low rates up front, but once the drive begins, the fare can increase unexpectedly, and the payment is often expected in cash. To avoid this, stick to the licensed and clearly marked legitimate taxis anywhere you go. Counterfeit products. If you are in a cruise port of call and you see a designer bag that seems like, wow, that is so well priced, or even some vanilla that is very cheap that you plan to take home, this is something that you really want to watch for. Not only are these items counterfeit, but they might just be unsafe. Not knowing the all aboard time. If you've ever watched videos where unfortunately people did not make it back to the cruise ship on time, and that cruise ship actually left them behind in a cruise port of call, well, most of the time, this is because people did not know or remember the time that they actually had to make it back to the ship. Now, not only do you want to make sure that you know the time, what I usually do is actually take a picture of the all aboard sign as I'm leaving the ship, so I cannot even second guess myself. But something you also want to make sure is that you are on ship time and not on local port time if they are different. Now, the best way to do this is either to have a cheap watch or to make sure that you have set your smartphone to a manual setting so that it doesn't update automatically. Leaving belongings unattended at the beach. Now, if you're going to the beach, you might actually wonder, where do I keep my items? Now, don't make the mistake of keeping your credit card, your ID, and any other valuables in a beach bag on the beach. Even if that beach seems like it's full of cruise travelers and it's safe, no, you want to keep that with you instead. It's a good idea to keep a cell phone pouch lanyard that is waterproof. You can actually go into the water with that, or a waterproof waist pouch instead. Now, I'm going to leave my exclusive link to Incogni as well as the 60% off discount code down in the description below this video, as well as a pinned comment in case you do want to check that out. And I would love to hear from you. Please let me know if you've ever made any cruise port mistakes, or if there's any I didn't cover in this video. Please let me know down in the comments below. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a big thumbs up. I really do appreciate it. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Bye for now, and happy cruising.